Um,
You're handsome, bro. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna say what everyone out there watching is thinking. Man, you look like $1,000,000.
I greatly appreciate the support from Louisiana. Why don't you come up to Connecticut and put some action behind your words, sir? I need a dinner. All right, I need a dinner. How's it going, brother? How's your Tuesday started off?
It's good, man. It's good. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Kyle Evans, Coach Marcus Heflin. I got to tell you, to answer your question, how my Tuesday is starting off, I do my coaching with one of my coaches Tuesday right before the show. And I said this to him, Tim Beverlin, if you're listening, which I know you're not because you're doing something right now, I hate you. I told him that on the call because this man took what I had and said, "Oh, that's a limiting belief. Oh, that's a limiting belief. Oh, what would happen if you did this?" This is someone who coaches and teaches against limiting beliefs just to have my own ones held up and popped. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have a mentor, coach, accountability buddy, you are missing the mark. That's what I got to say, Marcus.
What we say it all the time, man. Name
Mhm.
the athlete, name the business mogul, name anybody who didn't have their trusted advisors, their coach, multiple coaches, Kyle, if you will. You could
That's
have a
me.
coach for the gym. You could have a dietitian that's a coach for your health. You could have a coach for business, a coach for your mindset. Like we could go through the whole Rolodex of things. And in fact, the more successful people become and you start interviewing these people, the clues that they leave you are simply clues you choose to ignore because we love you. We can't do this alone. There's only so far we can get there without having somebody reveal some blind spots, and they are blind spots for a reason. All right, you're not seeing them, and yet we love you regardless. So, is it your time to get a coach? Maybe, maybe. Let's get into it a little bit.
Let's get into it, guys. Yesterday on our Health Week, Physical and Mental Health Week, we met three characters that a lot of us are carrying. We talked about the achiever, the avoider, and the addict. Today, we are going to take a deep dive into the achiever, and subsequently, the following days, a deep dive into the avoider and the addict. Yet today, we're going to talk about the most applauded one, Marcus, the achiever, but also the one that leads to the most burnout.
Yep. Top achievers across the country are shaking a little bit, or they're like, "Well, that's not me."
Someone else. He's talking about someone else right now.
Got it, achievers. We understand. We understand. All right. And I think we're both victim to this, are we not?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, yeah. Because we chase that next thing. We chase that next Mount Everest peak.
Mhm.
We're only going for that. And the minute that we get these small wins, the minute that we get a little bit of momentum, all we're thinking about is the next thing versus maybe pausing, enjoying the ride, enjoying the progress, and actually saying, you know what, let me be where my feet are, and actually enjoy today. I love this. And you did this on one of our very first recordings. In fact, I think I was in Louisiana in your studio,
Yeah, it's like a
and I
year
was,
ago.
yeah, I was to your left, and you
Mhm.
said, and I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world until I realized what it actually meant. You go, when's the last time you ate a sandwich?
Mhm.
And I'm like, I'm a PB&J guy. I was like, bro, I crushed one yesterday. Like crushed it. You know, no. When's the last time you actually ate a sandwich? You didn't think about your phone. Your head wasn't here or there. You literally just focused in on every single bite, the taste, the appreciation of, the calmness, the everything.
Mhm.
AKA, enjoy what's right in front of you.
Yeah. You know, we We say this, and you said it yesterday, especially when we were just introing the achiever, and it's hard to enjoy the wins when you're constantly moving the goalpost.
You can't.
And I've been having some real deep conversations about this because, as you know, our world grows, Constellation grows, our coaching grows, our speaking grows, all those things, and we're on this rise. You have to ask yourself every now and then: one, when is enough enough?
Mhm.
Two, what's the purpose behind it, right? And three, where does it end? What's
Yeah.
the end goal, right? And so me and my wife were having just a real deep conversation, as one does. And she said this line to me, and I took it and Kyled it up for the show because it just smoked me right in the noggin. So,
Not.
yeah, here's my Kyle version of what she said. You call it excellence, but sometimes it's ego in disguise.
Woo! You married up, buddy.
You call it excellence, but sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, it's ego in disguise, and that's the achiever. That's the saboteur. That's the little thing right there that tells you, oh, it's not enough. Oh, you should be doing more. Oh, keep training to keep running yourself in the ground. Because for like multiple days, I have a Garmin that tells you your body battery, right? And like out of 100, where are you at? And multiple days, I was waking up at like 18 out of 100. 20 out of 100 to start the day. And I'm like, man, this is not sustainable.
Yeah. I think sometimes the achievers define success by the world's view of success versus actually defining what the success means for them. I had a wonderful coaching call. Yeah, and y'all, she's been on the show. She is a top producer on her road to 175 units. She's in the room with Gary, like the whole thing. And for years and years and years, man, it was hustle, hustle, hustle. Funny, I went back on her multi-year trend report, and it was hustle, 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 crash, hustle, 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 crash. And we saw this crazy good talent, and then there would be a bottom out of about 60 days. So we stay ahead of it this year, and we were cognizant of it, and we knew that there was some ebb and flow coming. And yet, when you get real and get right and define success differently, then you can show up differently. So instead of her programming and saying more, 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 I said define more of what. And then she took a step back and she talked about family. She talked about downtime. She talked about getting real here and spending some summer time with her family. And I said, cool, that's success then. So let's grade ourselves on that, not the next 5 deals, not the next 100K month, not that. What success looked like to you? And for years, she was told what success was by how she was supposed to show up for the hosted culture. And now she's defining it herself. And she's never been more calm. She's never been more at peace. And I believe that this summer will be one of our happiest summers. So shout out.
Ugh, this give me goosebumps. That's right, man. Here's the thing: the lies, right? The lies that the achiever tells you, and not just you, ladies and gentlemen, the lies that my achiever tells me. And notice, I want to be very clear on some of the nuance that I'm giving you. I said that my achiever tells me, as in it's a third person. It's something else that's there. It's not who I am. Right. And that's a big distinction that a lot of us need to make. But here's some words. Rest is weakness. I feel shame when I didn't earn it. Right. Oh, you got to push through the pain, Marcus. Push through the pain, buddy. Or one of my biggest ones that, it's still a journey. Measure worth by outcome.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. And yet, if we can do that and then impart on our kids that effort and how they show up is the success versus the place on the podium or the ribbon or whatever, if we can show them effort and praise that, completely change their world.
No doubt. And it's one of those things, guys, that when we're talking about these travelers with you, these personalities that you have, none of them are bad. They're only bad in excess. That's the point. It's totally great. In fact, I implore it for you to go back and see what you can do better. And did you go as hard as you could and all of those things? But when we overdo it, that's when it becomes a problem. And that's why we're calling this achiever out, right? Like Marcus, one of the things me and you have done, but I believe for the majority of the world is not a sustainable act, is 75 hard.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No,
Right?
it's that is more of a let me correct some really bad habits. And then after that finish line, I define my next consistent race. Right? There's nothing wrong. I want to make sure everybody hears us. There's nothing wrong with going hard in the paint on something. Like,
Sure.
there's nothing wrong with being intense about a pursuit or a project or whatever that may be. And yet, give yourself the ability to know I'm going to do this for 75 days. And then at day 76, this is how success looks after that. It's a domino. It's a way for momentum. It's a way to correct things so you can get into mode real fast and then figure out what your long-term sustainability is. Same for business. Same for time with family, by the way.
Mhm.
If we all just quit our jobs and hung out with family all day because we love them so much, it's great until everything gets depleted in the bank account. Now all of a sudden we have to. So everything in extreme, buddy. I don't know anything in extreme that serves anyone.
Yeah, and giving ourselves shame for not overachieving every second of every day. And I drew an amazing graph this morning, and it's one I've shared with you before, and I'll share it with you again.
Show us that
Sometimes, ladies
artwork.
and gentlemen,
Yeah.
this is what success looks like, because you don't have 100% all the time. Sometimes just giving 20. If all you got is 20 and that's what you give, you won. You won. You're not going to want to make your calls every day. You're not going to want to show up in the office every day. Yet the consistency over time always beats intensity. So working on the judgment or the shame or the awareness with yourself, if you showed up like Marcus said, and you gave the effort that you had, even if there wasn't 100% by the world standards, you won. You won.
Couple things. Keep that graph right there, buddy. Because one, it's like I don't know Michelangelo. Like it is exquisite. Do me a favor, different color marker if you've got it available. Mark through the bottom two for me. Like give a big red X or whatever. Oh, you even got red. Look at this. Yeah, we totally trained for this, guys. Showing up every day with consistency. That's success. Mailing it in on those low days and saying, well, I'll just show up tomorrow. I'll just show up tomorrow. That's what creates this ebb and flow in your income, in your confidence, that creates this guilt of, man, am I really doing this as a profession? Right? When your spouse looks at you and it's like, what you doing today? I just had rough week. Right? I don't know. Everybody's teammates, everybody's coaches, everybody's mentors are a little bit different. I can only speak from mine. Jade loves when I take a day off. I mean, elated when I take a day off. And she also knows me well enough that if it's more than one day off, I'm getting antsy. And it's no longer about, what she wants, right? It's no longer about like, oh, we just need family. It's also about having that teammate, that spouse, that partner, whoever's in your world that knows you and what you need, right? So if you need a day, take a day. I'm not saying that. And yet if you see this inconsistency showing up because of fatigue, because of, if I'm not perfect, I'm not going at all. I'm going to invite you to go after it a little bit different. It was funny. We were talking about engagement in the market center, Kyle. And ever since COVID, I think around the country, lack of attendance in an actual market center is down across the country. And I'm sitting there talking to a group of agents. It's in our top mastermind. And they were talking about, well, Marcus, I don't want to come to the office for 6 to 8 hours a day. I was like, gross. Why would you do that? And they were like, what? You said come to work. I'm like, yeah, come to work. You're realtors. Show up for an hour, 2 hours. Like, just get in mode, because here's the infight, guys. Your work in 2 hours will trump 8 hours or 20 hours or 40 hours of different professions out there. You've got this opportunity to have this huge abundant life while having a good time and not working 40 to 50 hours a week. Are you choosing to show up with it?
Yeah. And here's the thing too, like in business and let's just say health, because it's analogous for this. And it's a lesson that I've learned about consistency versus intensity. I struggled with weight for years and years and years, right? I'm 37 gross and in the best shape of my life at 37. So I'd say that to tell you, not I'm awesome for being in shape at 37, but I spent 3 decades not being in shape, right? That's the real story until I learned this lesson. Because like Marcus said, this without the X's is consistency. Whenever we are on a diet, for instance, if you were like Kyle, and you would do so good on, let's say, 5 days, but then blow it out the water on the weekends and then wonder why you're not losing weight. Well, if you're in a calorie deficit 5 days and then you're in a massive calorie surplus the other days, you're at a net zero. So if we're talking about business, guys, the days that you take off, and I'm not talking about intentional rest, I'm talking about, like Marcus said, just mailing it in, choosing not to show up. If you put that over an entire year's time, it's not a day here, a day there. It's 60 days. It's 70 days of not working. And
Yep.
that's why you're not where you need to be. Because Marcus, I don't know if you know this, I'm sure you do. 70 days at 8 contacts equals thousands of dollars in GCI.
Big time. Big time. I always ask everybody in the room to hold up their phone for a minute, because there's always a point, ladies and gentlemen, where as a coach, you're like, all right, lead gen's coming. And you could just tell that the buzz is in the air, like he's about to make us do it. Like everybody's kind of has this dread moment. So I ask them to just hold up their phone, and I'm like, look at it really well. There's $20,000 in there and you just haven't found it yet. Are you willing to go find it with me? Are you willing to just step up and call those 8 to 10 people? Are you willing to do that today? Because somebody else is, and they're going to call them before you get there.
Yeah.
They're going to sell their house. Is it just going to be with you or not? And it's just that open invitation, man, that if it's just 5 calls that day, great. You did 5 calls. Maybe tomorrow it's 25. You know, maybe it's 50 texts throughout the week. Whatever it is, just show up and stay consistent with it. Just like the gym. I got my buddy roasted me the other day. I got up 30 minutes later than I was scheduled to, right? I don't say supposed to, scheduled to. I got in the gym, and man, before the gym, it was like I was walking around with concrete shoes, right? I'm just like, I am slow slothing this bad boy, right? And I get to the gym, and it's crunch time as far as time. So all I did was jump on the treadmill for 30 minutes. And that's all I did. And I walked out the gym, and they were like, how's the workout? I was like, I just did walking for 30. And they were like, huh. And they start roasting because I didn't get my heavy day in. I was like, you know what's great? I appreciate the accountability, but what's also great is that I still showed up. I knew I wasn't going to get the workout of my dreams today. I knew I wasn't going to make that type of progress. And yet I made progress. I moved the needle forward, and I trained my body that we go to the gym whether we want to or not. What else is my mind going to tell me later in the day? You go to work even though you don't want to. You make that call even though you don't want to. You're going to do that Zoom, so on and so on and so on. How you show up in one arena is how you show up in all of them. How you showing up?
We need to redefine success or hard, Marcus, as showing up consistently, not maxing out inconsistently.
Ooh. Write it down.
Write it down, guys. True mastery, it's not just force, it's flow, right? Growth, Grosho, hashtag, growth equals stress plus rest, right? Health, our business, it's not a test that we pass. It's a rhythm that we live. Like, we've got to get into it. Our nervous system doesn't care how motivated we are. It cares how overloaded we are. Mic drop. Guys, when we're taking all this in, and this is good for the next couple minutes here, we, as always, we want to give you actual tactics, things that you can do, things that you can use, 3 tools if the achiever won't shut up for you. Number 1, and I know Marcus is like a wolf with his ears pinned back for this one. What is what is the non-negotiable minimum? The baseline goal, right?
Yes.
And he just literally explained it, right? What is the non-negotiable minimum? Business, health, personal, spiritual. What is that for you?
It's funny, Kyle, and forgive the background. It's funny, man, because I've seen some amazing transformational videos of weight loss. And they say that the first like month, and I'm talking like massive weight loss, not the 20 pounds ish. They talk about how at the beginning of their journey, they would just show up to the gym, and literally one of these individuals said they showed up to the gym and they literally sat in the lobby for an hour.
Mm.
And then that was day one. And then the next day they showed up and they got on the treadmill for a little bit, maybe the bike, and okay, cool, now I'm done. Right. And they just continuously, and yet a month later, now they're lifting weights. 3 months later, now they're looking in the mirror because there's massive changes happening.
Yeah.
6 months later, they're a completely different person. What small investments are going to pay off big in the long term? We could go straight to Warren Buffett, and he says something remarkable about money. He said, money is very simple. It takes time and patience. That's it. Are you giving yourself and your goals and your success time and patience that it deserves?
Guys, what is your non-negotiable minimum that you will do no matter what?
Yes,
Period.
sir.
It's not 20, 50, 100 contacts. Is it 5? Is it 10? Is it, like Marcus said, showing up to the office for an hour or 2 hours every weekday? Like, what is the non-negotiable minimum? The number 2 tool is this. We need to schedule recovery as a strategy. We need
Yes.
to book recovery like appointments. Stretching, massage, off days, vacations. If it's not planned, the achiever will skip it. P.S. I'm talking about my dadgum self right now. And my coach called me out on this 2 months ago. Said, Kyle, when's your next vacation? I said, don't have one on the books. Said, you do now. I'll wait. We need to schedule it as a strategy.
You may not remember this, and I'm going live here with it. Let's see.
Great.
Let's see how you do. Do you remember you, me, and Dustin Kimberly on a group chat when you were first becoming a bowl coach? Do you remember what I told you about rest and what I challenged you to do?
Do it.
Yeah, yeah. And we were talking about, because y'all were on the gauntlet. Y'all were
Yeah.
redshirting. Y'all were going through the thick of it, not making a dime of money because we got to earn this spot. And I told y'all, I said, have your rest days, but make sure they're purposeful rest days
Mm-hmm.
because you're giving the world everything you've got. And man, oh man, the world deserves to give you something back, but you've got to go and be purposeful with it. And both y'all did a really great job responding. I don't know if y'all actually did it, and you did a great job responding. And yet that focus around intentional rest, the intentional time with your family, the intentional put your phone down nights so that your brain can actually be fully present.
We me and you have synthesized and distilled that talk, that information into a saying that me and Marcus have now, guys, and it's earning our boring Saturdays.
Yes, sir. Oh, the boring Saturdays.
We earn it. We earn it. And it's a strategy. It really is, guys. I am not lackadaisical now about, oh, I guess maybe I'll be off. No, dude. Like my clients know, everyone, I'm off. I am with my family. I am recharging the battery. I am not put on this earth to work and then die. Like we've got to schedule recovery, schedule rest as a strategy. So number 1, non-negotiable minimum. Number 2, schedule rest as a strategy. And number 3, this is a huge one. Process praise. I need you to slow down and process praise. I'm about to say the J word that you love. Journal or reflect on what went well, not just what was hard, not just the gap, ladies and gentlemen, the gain. I almost cursed again because I'm just so pissed about always hearing about people and their dang gaps, man. Like, give yourself some freaking credit.
You'll never be who you want to be by focusing on the things that you're not doing right. You will become who you intend to become if you praise yourself for the journey of getting closer to it. So stop telling yourself, I'm lazy. Oh, I didn't do enough. No, say, I went to the gym today. That's 5 days in a row, right? Next week, my workouts will be better. Next week, I'll improve my diet even more than I did because now I found some healthy foods that I like and I'll incorporate more because I did the thing. I didn't talk about it. Oh, I'm so sick of talking, man. Let's do the things. Get into action. My gosh, this market has so many people talking online, in person, and everybody's in your ear telling you you should be mediocre. You should not. If somebody's talking about mediocrity, it's their own poison they're drinking. Don't be a part of it. Show up consistently, and I promise you, mediocrity will be in your rear view the rest of your life.
The funny thing about mediocrity, Marcus, is because so many people are doing it, that's where all the competition is.
Right. 100%. You want less competition? Be the best version of yourself. Do things that people aren't doing. Show up to the office. I dare you. I dare you go to the market center 5 days of the week. Dare you. Show up for 30 minutes. High five your team leader. Waste somebody's time for 30 minutes and then bounce out. But condition yourself to getting in that office. And I promise you, all of a sudden, the buzz is going to get you. You're going to like it. You're going to like momentum. You're going to like having a routine. You're going to like the results that come from both of those.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the achiever can be your greatest strength and also your greatest weakness. Balance is key. We don't need to do more to prove our worth. We need to do it differently to protect what's worth it. Our body, our mind, our families, our future, our peace. Let's go get it, Mark. This is good. I like this, man.
I'm ready, man. It's Tuesday. Let's go get it, people. We love you. We mean it. Go stay consistent. See you tomorrow.